Hi everyone, welcome to my channel again. If you're new to my channel, make sure to subscribe. This is the place I post most of my videos, but I also post on Instagram and TikTok. I'll have links to those channels in the description, and you can also subscribe to my newsletter. I'll have a link to that as well. So I thought I'd make a quick video because there's a lot of people asking this question as of late because they are struggling to find a job as a junior. Now, as we all know, things are happening, recession, costs of living going up, companies have to pay uh, more interest rate, and pretty much cost of everything has gone up. As a side effect, junior developers are not able to find any jobs. Interns are struggling. If you just came out of uni, graduate, you are going to struggle as well. So maybe this video is going to be helpful to you. It's kind of a slow video, so please bear with me. So the title of this video is what are the things that employers look for when they're hiring a candidate? Historically, you could have just gone to uni, graduate, do some dev in your free time, build a couple of sites here and there. You would land at an interview. Uh, if you're good enough, maybe you'd move to the next stage. If you're even better, maybe at the stage after that. But the process was not so difficult back then. Now things are much difficult. The things that employer look for now, to your surprise, are going to be are the same things that they looked for back then. Now that has not changed. Technologies are similar. Some things change here and there. So what has changed is the experience aspect of it. They're gonna pay you less, but they want you to know way more um, than if it was a couple of years ago. So they might pay you 50,000, but they'll kind of want you to have experience of someone who's been in the field for 10 years, something like that. So more experience, less pay. Now you can go for jobs that pay a little bit more, but then obviously the competition is going to be literally cutthroat there. The employers are kind of struggling, to be fair. So they are trying really hard to eliminate as many candidates as they can. And this is very true at this point. You can um, 5 6 years ago, even before pandemic, to be fair, you could apply for a job. You would at least get a response back with some feedback. Sometimes, mostly no feedback, but you'd get a response back for a phone call, for an interview, just a discussion with HR. Now, even that won't happen. You'll just be discarded. You'll get rejected. A day or so after you apply. And I'm hearing this from so many people, and so many people who just got unemployed as well, who got made redundant. And um, they are telling me that they've been applying for jobs, they have experience, they're struggling to land any role. The applications, some of the job listings they see, there's thousands of people applying for that. And obviously 80 90% of the people are not qualified for that because they have no experience. So anyways, back to the topic of this video. What do employers look for when they want to hire a candidate? The number one thing, regardless of what anyone might tell you, and please don't listen to people who don't have experience in the field. I'm telling you, I've been doing this for 7 8 years. The number one thing employers always looked for and still look to this day when they want to hire someone is the experience. Doesn't matter your color, doesn't matter where you're from, doesn't matter where you're living. Do you have the experience or not? It's a simple question. Most people like to live in fantasy world. They kind of ignore this aspect. They'll focus on the CV. They'll focus on communication. Um, Focus on little hacks here and there. But those things only work for people who have experience, right? Applying for 100 jobs is not going to do anything if you have no experience, right? So, uh, to answer the question, what do employers look for? They look for experience. It's simple as that, really. I mean, let's not make it so complicated. Yes, they look at the CV. If your CV is well formatted, if uh, the sections are formatted properly, if you have your phone number so they can contact you, if you have your email, and things like that. So they do look for those things as well. But experience is the baseline. If you don't have experience, nothing else matters, right? And I mean, it's common sense, at least to me. I think a lot of people, our juniors, don't understand this, and well, they are gonna struggle big time at this time of the year and upcoming years as well. Companies are not hiring a lot of people; they're firing people. So if you really want to get in the company, you better be really good. So they look for experience. Now, you might ask, um, how do you get experience if nobody's gonna hire you? It's a chicken and an egg question, right? Isn't it? So it's a difficult one. You can't just get experience like that unless someone is willing to take a risk on you, just hire you, literally maybe feed you everything. You know, it's difficult. Now let me tell you what I did when I got hired. This was some time ago. Um, the reason I got hired is because I had worked on countless projects and I had put them in my CV in a way where it looks like I got real experience. So when CTO of the company looked at my CV, say, "Okay, the CV is good. Let me have a look at your experience." So they uh, checked each link, checked each project I worked on. They're like, "Okay, you worked on this first project for 6 months, and it's become into this. Half of the project was a mess, obviously, but that's okay. But this was quite a big project that I had worked on myself. I looked at an existing site. I wrote down each feature the site had on a piece of paper. Then later on, I moved them to Jira, put a title that's actionable, put the details, what I need to do, not how I need to do, but what I need to do. And I made lots of tasks in Jira. Then I decided it's time to work on the project, and I wouldn't stop until I finished that. So I started to work on the project. I built the small things and bigger, and it kept getting more and more complicated. There was a time where even I wouldn't understand what I was doing. I would look at my code some parts of the code base that I wrote 3 months ago, and I'm like, what the hell is going on there? And it was a proper nightmare, to be honest. But when I applied for the jobs and I can put this type of experience and I can speak about the things I have done because I'm actually doing these things. I'm not making up any trick or trying to fool someone. I'm actually working on that project and I understand what it takes. Obviously, initially I didn't understand anything, but obviously 3, 4, 5, 6 months later, I understood a lot of things. I didn't become an expert, not even a junior, but when I applied for some of the junior positions, I did get a response and I was having interviews. So now I could have done the same thing now, but I have experience. But let's say I'm doing the same thing now. And like I said, the competition is very high right now. If I did the same thing now, I worked on a project for 6 months, I probably would not get even a junior job because there's going to be someone who has more experience than me. Maybe that guy is not even a junior. That guy has 2 3 years of experience. He just trying to get a junior because he can't get anything else. So I personally would need to work on at least 1 or 2 year to be able to compete with these people for a junior position. And what's the framework that I would follow? I'd follow the same framework that I just told you. I would rebuild an existing site. I would write down what the site needs to do and then just start working on it. That's what I would do. So, um, What do employers look for when hiring a candidate? They look for experience, and I just explained to you how do you get experience. You have to work on projects, and these have to be. This is very important. You might miss it. They have to be long-term projects. Can't be something that you can wrap up in a week or so because you don't learn much that way. You can learn, but we're speaking about experience here. You don't gain experience working on a project for 1 or 2 weeks. They have to be big projects, or at least start off and then just keep digging into it, keep making it bigger and bigger project. So then, obviously, once you have got the experience, you're working on bigger projects. You got to make sure that you can present that information in your CV in and in a way where it looks like you got real experience. You're not bullshitting someone. So keep that in mind. Get the experience. Work on the projects yourself, big projects, um, and then put that information on the CV in a very presentable manner. Make it look like you have actual experience. No, you haven't worked for a company, but you've done the same things that you would do in a company, right? So you had to do that. You can start off by working an hour each day, but then you'll have to up that. You can't just work an hour each day and make huge progress. Start with an hour, go to 2 hours, 3 hours. That's how you will make real progress. And that's how it works in real life as well. You go to a company office, you don't just work for an hour, you work for 6, 7, 8 hours non-stop. So it's not easy. You're trying to get real experience here so you can get a real job. So you gotta keep everything realistic here as well, right? There's many other ways to learn, obviously, reading books and watching tutorial, but I can guarantee you that everything after a couple of days is gonna get boring. It will get boring, and you should just accept that if you want to become a developer. It's a hard journey. It's going to be difficult to find a job, um, but the money is there. So that's what you got to do. Employers look for experience, and I just told you exactly how you can gain experience. And when I make these videos, I actually do try to make a point here. So a lot of time it just goes over people's head because these are long videos. But do make sure you watch them. If you want to watch them a few times, do watch them a few times. I kind of try to share most 99% of the stuff is what I have done. That's the sort of stuff I share. And obviously, if you like to hear more, make sure to subscribe to my channel. Make sure to subscribe to the newsletter. Um, and if you have any questions, just drop me an email.